right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Right now, recovery after deadly storms tore across the bi-state, causing damage to buildings, property, and claiming at least 12 lives in Missouri. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michelle Lee. One of those deaths was a North St. Louis County woman killed after coming into contact with a downed power line. Her grief-stricken fiance spoke only to 5 on your side's Robert Townsend, and Robert is joining us live from the family's neighborhood this afternoon. Good evening, Robert.
Michelle, let me tell you this. Tonight it is quiet here on the street in Florissant. A big contrast compared to last night when that powerful storm blew through this neighborhood. Now, at the height of that storm, a family lost their loved one. You can see the heartbreak in Ethan Foss's eyes.
Shock, numb. Don't know what to think, don't know what to say anymore.
He cannot believe he's suddenly mourning his friend of 5 years, his fiancée, Jennifer Brewington. She died when a severe storm blew through the St. Louis area. You're tearing up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's been hard all day. Didn't sleep much.
Ethan says shortly after 11 Friday night, Jen first spotted a small fire in their backyard.
She found one of the trees were on fire back there, so I was like, okay, we'll call 911, get that taken care of.
He says about 15 minutes later, when he called her from work, she was fine and preparing for bed. The couple lived here with her mom.
And they went downstairs with the sirens and then came back upstairs. I was like, okay, I'm going to eat a bowl of cereal and go to bed. And I was like, okay, good night, love you, and I'll talk, I'll see you in the morning.
But when Jennifer's mom couldn't find her, she became worried.
The back door was open, which is unusual because we have a cat and dog.
Sadly, the Florissant mom saw her daughter, her only child, had been electrocuted in their backyard. Firefighters found her body next to a downed power line.
That's the only thing they can figure is that she stepped on the power line.
Any idea what she was doing back there?
Not a clue. None of us knew why she even went outside.
A 43-year-old woman, full of life, excited about her future, suddenly taken from her family.
Just a loving and caring person. Very carefree, helped care for everybody. Don't know what I'm going to do now.
The couple was looking forward to getting married in October. Their family, relatives from all over, neighbors, and church members are all comforting Foss and his family. We're live in North County. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Right, thanks so much. St. Louis County officials are reacting to Brewington's death tonight, and in a statement, County Executive Dr. Sam Page says we are deeply saddened to confirm this death. This heartbreaking tragedy underscores that downed power lines are extremely dangerous and they are not always visible. The county also says if you see a downed power line, you should immediately call 911, or you can also call Ameren. That number is on your screen there, 1-800-552-7583. And right now, more than 11,000 people in Illinois are without power from this storm, and more than 55,000 people are without power in Missouri. One church in Illinois tells us they are canceling services because of the outage and damage that they sustained. New Life in Christ Church in O'Fallon, Illinois says they will not have in-person service, but will live stream at 10 a.m. Now, Franklin County had some of the worst damage across our area. Businesses, homes, and even a beloved animal training center were severely hit. Our Annie Krall was back there again tonight, talking to the people already jumping into action to help.
As most of the storms have rolled out, but the rain still comes in on Saturday night, crews have switched from response to recovery. It's loud, it's noisy, and crews are quickly working to combat everything that's happening right now. We're in one of the worst spots in Villa Ridge as a Burger King across the street had the windows blown out by wind, rain, and hail on Friday night.
This is just heartbreaking. This is a little small, this is all we got right here.
Old Highway 100 in Villa Ridge brutalized by Friday's gusting winds. Gas stations like Mr. Fuel and BP with ripped roofs and downed power lines. Robertsville residents Robert and Trisha Naff tell us people ended up trapped inside the Burger King, now boarded up. Gray Summit's Purina Farms family fun attraction also decimated in the storm's wake.
The stuff is torn up. It's for all the animals. I heard they got the animals out. I looked at pictures of it, just totally demolished, just devastated. And I'm glad they did, because every animal in there would people that probably died.
The Knapp family with their twin 4-year-olds run the local Franklin County nonprofit Blessings Are Miracles so neighbors can post on social media what essentials they need in the aftermath.
One of my friends, Jennifer Leaf, she lives in Charing Cross, and when she told me her story, she said that, it hit out of nowhere. The windows came in, and her husband got hit in the face with glass. Her son's room, while she was screaming, she jumped on top of her daughter Mercy, and the roof fell on top of her.
Families in the area say that at this point in the coming days, it's about helping their neighbors and, of course, helping utility crews. We've had people driving past asking them if they want dinner on Saturday night, even if it's a small gesture. Reporting in Franklin County, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Well, these storms have had a massive impact across several counties in our area. Our meteorologist Gary Frank is here with what we've learned. And also, I'm afraid to look at tomorrow's forecast, to be honest, Gary.
Yeah, it's not going to be as warm, but we're not going to deal with the dust and all the stuff that I would like to say. That's the reason my voice sounds like this, but maybe it is. I don't know. But yesterday, storms that moved through the area really obviously started at about 7 o'clock through about 12:30. We saw that line of storms push through. And as we've had all these reports, I want to talk about some of the storm surveys and what we've dealt with. And this is what the National Weather Service has been busy doing today. And of course, there's so much damage, but I want to give you an insight in what they're doing. And they're going to plot all these little data points that you see. And what they're doing is they're figuring out areas of damage along the way, taking pictures and figuring out how much damage is. And that's how they're going to be able to rate this. And this, as we look at this storm near Arnold, which they're still working and in progress to figure out to see if it went a little further, but right now is at least an EF2 tornado. I'll show you what that corresponds to in a second. Same with Union, that's an EF1. This Villa Ridge is an EF2. So those are the areas that they've looked at. They found all these data points, obviously. You've seen the gas station, some other things, and that's what they're using to determine the damage, because not all the spots are going to be able to figure out. Obviously in Villa Ridge and some of these spots, your house, my house, we don't have ways to measure the wind, so they use that in a damage perspective. So that means it was at least 111 miles an hour in Villa Ridge. So something to think about. Right now, as the National Weather Service teams continue to survey, they found at least 3 confirmed tornadoes. They've got more crews on the way for a couple of more systems tomorrow in Alton and in Chesterfield. So they're looking at that. 49 now. It's much colder overnight, believe it or not. Flakes of snow. We'll talk about that. I don't think it's a huge issue, but we'll talk about that and how it pertains to the rest of the forecast tomorrow.
But how it swings. All right, thanks so much. We continue our weather coverage in Rolla, which is about an hour and a half southwest of St. Louis. Businesses, homes, and schools were destroyed. Our Justina Cornell spoke to owners who lost their livelihood but remain resilient.
Just 24 hours after the storms hit, the wrath of Mother Nature can be seen in Rolla. In a shopping plaza off of Bishop Avenue, multiple businesses were hit.
So this used to be the entrance of our business.
After years of investing into CK Nail Salon, it was gone in seconds.
It's just very heart-wrenching for me as I grow older, how much I appreciate small business owners and those that immigrated to America.
Christina Doe's parents came to the United States. CK Nail Salon was their American dream.
It means a lot to me because for me to watch my parents that immigrated to America, and if it wasn't for them and their hard-earned money, I wouldn't be here today.
Doe and her family are destroyed by the devastation, yet continue to look at all the possibilities.
We're very positive and pray that the owner of this whole building will rebuild and one day for all of us to be back here.
Full Range Fit was ready for customers.
We're going to open on Monday the group personal training and youth fitness classes. It was really exciting.
The grand opening was days away. For Leela Webenmeyer's husband, expanding the gym was his dream.
We do know that we want to continue to bring the service to the community. This is his passion. He's so good at it. This is what he wants to do.
In these bad moments, they also see the good.
And then this morning we had over 100 friends, family, people we didn't know. We had another gym in the area, Raise the Bar CrossFit. Their entire team came out.
While this may seem like a nightmare, the owners still haven't lost sight of their dreams.
It just puts a lot in perspective. We're just really thankful.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Wow, incredible there. The Missouri State Highway Patrol expects the National Weather Service to survey Rolla tomorrow. And if storm survivors need cleanup or help, they can, with tree removal as well, they can call 211. Well, coming up, a county catastrophe. People across Jefferson County deal with the storm's aftermath, how they're working to keep things from falling apart. And we will continue to bring you the latest on these stories and our weather impact forecast on air, online, and on the 5 Plus app. You can download it for free on your smart TV. Lives in Jefferson County were turned upside down in a matter of minutes as last night's heavy winds ripped through homes and businesses. Tornadic winds tore through homes, slammed power lines, and uprooted trees near Miller Crossings apartments in Arnold. Now, one of the carports there actually came down, hitting nearly 40 cars beneath it. And now the people who live there wonder how they're going to get around as well as pay for all that damage.
I'm a hospice nurse, and so I drive to patients' homes daily to, handle end-of-life care. And I now don't have a hood on my car, and the engine's been completely rearranged.
There was people inside of a truck who just got back with their groceries last night, and I helped get them out of their car whenever the roof fell on their car. Fortunate enough, they weren't hurt, but we'll have to deal with that Monday when everybody's got to go to work.
Arnold police say city officials, emergency responders, and utility services are working to restore the area to normal operations and, of course, keep everybody safe. Those powerful winds hit East Central College hard last night. So take a look. Here's a look at the scene in Union, Missouri. Those winds blew around fences, sporting equipment, and damaged some buildings on the campus's baseball, softball, and also the soccer fields. East Central is asking any students impacted by last night's storms to reach out to the Student Development Department. And then a popular Old Town fluorescent restaurant took some damage last night as well. Take a look there. Handles says a branch fell through the bar's ceiling and most of the damage came to its rare whiskey collection. Now, no customers or staff were inside at the time, but Handles reopened at 11 o'clock this afternoon. While last night's storms hit Missouri pretty hard, heavy winds and tornado damage also made it to both sides of the river. So let's take a look. Here's the scene from earlier today in O'Fallon, Illinois. Now, one neighborhood near Scott Troy Road was hit pretty hard. Siding was ripped off of several homes, and vehicles like the trailer that you see right there, they were all thrown around by the wind. A possible tornado also destroyed a mobile home neighborhood in O'Fallon. Here's a structured damage between Mascoutah and Summerfield. Take a look there. Also in Trenton, Illinois, cleanup efforts were underway this morning after businesses were hit by those heavy winds. Jim's formal wear also seriously damaged.
Wind has settled down, but it's already switched from a different direction. And yes, of course, because it's Missouri right now, at least for this part, but the Midwest in March, we got snow to talk about. When that arrives and how it's going to impact your Sunday just ahead.
Some Missouri leaders are weighing in on the severe storms that hit across our area last night. Senator Eric Schmidt thanked first responders for their work throughout the night, saying that his thoughts and prayers are with those affected. He said in a statement, quote, "My team and I have been in touch with local and federal leaders, including Governor Kehoe, and stand ready to assist wherever possible." Governor Kehoe also says resources from the National Guard and other state agencies are coming together to help statewide. He stopped in Poplar Bluff, which was badly hit by the storms.
We signed an executive order in advance yesterday afternoon. We believe the storms had the look of severity, and thankfully we did that. So it's essentially declared our state emergency orders already and activated resources that we need. Multiple tornadoes, fatalities, looting, auto accidents, just you name it, kind of an Armageddon situation for emergency response.
Governor Kehoe says that people should avoid impacted areas and that neighbors check on the elderly and others who might need some help. The State Emergency Management Agency says damage assessments will continue tomorrow. And if you're one of those people who lost power during the storm, you may be scrambling to fight off food spoilage. Ameren has a few safety tips for you. It recommends keeping the refrigerator doors closed as much as possible to keep the cold air in. A full freezer will stay cold for 2 days. A half full one will only be safe for 1. And toss any food that's reached above 40 degrees for more than 2 hours. When in doubt, you can imagine just throw it out. But I had a hard time throwing out 1 egg today, Gary. It was tough.
Was that $15 nowadays?
Oh my gosh. Well, we lost power for 15 hours. So it's been.
And you threw an egg away?
I know. I had to throw my whole carton away. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was, didn't they just say it was 48 hours?
No, in your freezer. Your refrigerator is a little different. Yeah.
What is it? Because I got to throw some stuff out then.
It's supposed to be 4 hours.
4 hours?
I know. I don't know if everyone's going to do that, but.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I'm going to throw away like half of my fridge. I didn't Google that part of it.
Well, Google.
We're not getting power at my house for a long time. I gotta get on the Google machine. I need to verify here, Michelle. We need some issues here. Peak wind speeds today after midnight, you can see we're around 35 to 40 miles an hour. So it was closer to that, right? But, overall, you can continue to look at, overall there are a few light showers. We're still out of the west-southwest direction, but some light showers still kind of hanging around. Notice I talked about snow off to our west. Look at this. We got some big, wet snowflakes in Kansas City have been mixing in. Now they're above freezing, but you're talking about, this is a shot at the stadiums here looking in. You look at the light here, you got snow that's kind of hanging around. So, for the most part, that's what we're dealing with. Obviously, people are moving smooth. There's no problem. And that's what we're probably going to deal with as we continue to fall into the overnight hours. Watch our temperatures here fall into the 30s, and then some wet snowflakes continue. So I know you're going to go from talking about tornadoes from Sullivan to Rolla to snow, and that's kind of what we are accustomed to in March, from the volatility of one season to the other. But as we continue to go into the early morning hours, notice our temps stay above freezing, and that really falls apart. We're actually going to clear out and warm back up. So we'll start out with that northwest breeze. Like I said, it is possible we'll see a few flakes of snow. Don't be surprised. Just want to point that out. We're going to rebound close to about 50 degrees tomorrow. It's not a huge deal, but I wanted to point that out. In terms of our departure from average, we have that little cold period here. We warm right back up. It is no surprise as we continue to work our way into Monday, 15 to 25 degrees above average. So that works its way into Tuesday as well, and then I think we fall back down a little bit. We got more ups and downs. And so for the ancient order of Hibernians parade, say it with me, breezy and mild as we start off Monday. Temps in the upper 50s even by 11 o'clock. We are going to continue to warm up, and as we march toward the official first day of spring and the vernal equinox, we have a few flakes of snow early, but we're going to rebound to 51. So not a huge deal in that sense. 73 Monday. Tuesday, Corey has already decided he's taking a sick day. And we're back. It looks too good. It does look good. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to see our next change, but nothing too significant. The next 7 days, we don't have any big storms other than the fact you're going to wake up and see wet snowflakes and stick in the grass for a second, and you say, what the heck is going on?
I know, for real. I mean, it feels very St. Louis,
it does.
To be in this. And still, I mean, you're not doing news tonight, you're doing sports. You're back to your old job.
Thankfully back to sports here. And a lot going on in sports tonight. The Blues had a hat trick hero, City SC had a set piece savior, and the Cardinals finally had some offensive output. Lots to talk about coming up in sports. The Blues have not played a game at Enterprise Center in 2 weeks. However, the road has not been completely unkind to them. They've kept themselves in the playoff hunt and had another big one tonight in Minnesota against the Wild. There is the state of the Western Conference playoff race, 2 points out of the final wild card spot with 16 games left. First period, the captain stays hot. Braden Shen bangs one home in front, 1-0 Blues. Second period, Jake Neighbors is always in the right spot. It pays off right here. He converts the rebound and Jake is absolutely fired up, 2-0 Blues. Then just about 85 seconds later, another rebound and another goal, this time from Jordan Kyrou. 3-0 Blues. Kyrou had another goal and then an empty netter. That makes 3. That's a hat trick, the 5th of Kyrou's career. Blues win 5-1.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
We had some breaking City SC news before tonight's match. Captain Roman Berkey fractured his hand in training this week, so it's Ben Lunt's time to shine against Seattle in net. 15 minutes, nothing deadlier in St. Louis sports than Edu Leuven on a set piece. Just beautiful. Leuven's first of the season. City up 1-0. Extra time now, looks like it's going to be a spot kick for Seattle with a chance to tie after a foul, but hold on. Review shows a Seattle handball first, no penalty. City wins 1-0. They still have not allowed a goal this season. Good for Ben Lunt.
Taking flight, Card Spring Training, sponsored by Wood Basement Systems.
Great to see Jordan Walker healthy and in the lineup for the Cardinals against Toronto today. If you want some offense, you finally got it. Alec Burleson crushes that one out. He had 2 hits and 3 RBIs on the day. Lars Nootbaar got in on the homer action as well. Sends that one out and over the fence to left field. As a team, the Cardinals racked up 16 hits and beat the Blue Jays 9-5. Altoff going for a boys basketball state title to go with their football state championship. Crusaders face Chicago Diet today. De'Ara Hill Jr. triple. Altoff up early. Crusaders behind in the second half. Zach Winkler nailing the three, down just one. However, Diet had its eyes on the school's first state title. They'd finish things off. They win 52-41, ending a great season for Altoff. SLU and Lafayette for a trip to the Class 6 Final Four to face Chaminade, who had some players in the crowd scouting this one. This was a double overtime affair. Lafayette's Nolan Savoy was clutch down the stretch. Big time Lancer triple. Let's go the other way in OT. John Hawkins, that's a triple for SLU. But Savoy and the Lancers were just too good in double OT. Nice bucket in the paint as Lafayette wins 70-64 in double overtime to advance to the state Final Four. NCAA D2 tournament, UMSL and Ferris State. It was a bit close for comfort for the Tritons at the end, but they were able to pull through. UMSL wins 81-79. They advance to the next round to face Missouri S&T tomorrow. In Division III, WashU won. They're going to the Final Four. So lots of basketball to watch all over the place.
Yeah, and you know what? To lift our spirits, because it's really been a rough 24 hours or so.
Yeah, now especially after I found out that I can't.
You got to throw everything away.
I got to throw everything away in my fridge.
Yeah.
It's okay. Positive news is I could probably put it outside tonight because it's going to drop down to around freezing. A few snowflakes in the morning. Don't worry about it. We're going to warm up nicely on Monday and Tuesday as we continue to see pretty decent conditions after that.
All right. Well, that's all of our time for 5 on Your Side at 10. Have a great night, everybody.